What a difference a day makes. Today's weather couldn't really be more different from what we had yesterday. Once again, everything is coming in from the Atlantic. If we have a look at the satellite picture, we've got all this cloud that's streaming our way. And of course, that is bringing with it the rain that we're seeing across many parts of the country at the moment.
Hello, good afternoon. It's really quite unsettled for the rest of the week, so more wet and windy weather to come in the forecast, including today, but it won't be raining all the time. In fact, it was a bright start earlier on this morning. Here's Chingford, as captured by one of our weather watchers. And of course, temperatures have risen this morning from where we were last night when there was a touch of frost.
Hello there, good evening. Bit of a soaker of a day today and rather windy too, and there's plenty more of that sort of weather over the next few days.
It's been a wet one today, Ben.
It certainly has, Rita, and there is more to come. Good evening to you. Yes, many of us have seen some heavy and persistent rain today. This was a scene for a weather watcher in Haverfordwest in the west of Wales, and the jet stream is in quite an active mood this week. The jet stream, the winds high up in the atmosphere, blowing straight across the Atlantic in our direction, steering all these weather systems towards our shores. That means there will be further spells of rain at times, albeit with some drier interludes in between. It will be mild. It will often be windy.
It's been a very rainy start to 2023.
Well, it has, hasn't it? Very unsettled. We've got a very strong jet stream at the moment too. I don't know if you saw the beautiful red skies earlier on this morning. Some really lovely weather watcher pictures coming in. This is Wembley and the next one is of Twickenham. Of course, there's a lot of truth in the old adage about the shepherds and their warnings because, of course, the sun rises in the east and we had that approaching weather front, so that's what has caused it. But very wet, of course, all day, and it sets the scene for the rest of the week too. So it stays mild for the time of year, unsettled, more wet and windy stuff in the forecast, but it's not going to be raining all the time. There'll be some dry weather too, particularly tomorrow, and even some brightness.
Now, if you are lucky enough to get clear skies tonight, you could be in for a bit of a treat because one of the strongest and most spectacular meteor showers of the year is going to be visible. Well, Joe Blythe's in Salford for us tonight. I mean, this will be quite a sight, won't it, Joe?
Well, I hope so, Mary, but it does depend on quite a few factors weather-wise. The annual quadrantid meteor shower does peak tonight in the skies above the UK. Up to 110 meteors could be visible per hour through the early hours of tomorrow morning. Now, meteors are bits of space debris that enter the Earth's atmosphere. They vaporise, creating a white streak of light that looks like a shooting star, but the weather is an important factor. It's been raining here all day in Manchester. It's windy and it's cloudy, but there are parts of the country where you could be in with a chance of seeing them tonight under clear skies perhaps later on. Of course, there are dark sky areas across the country, the Brecon Beacons, Snowdonia, parts of Northumberland and Exmoor National Park, but for many places it is going to be quite cloudy and it's just not the best conditions at all for seeing this beautiful sight. Another condition that you'd need is little light pollution, and in towns and cities that's a real factor. Also, the moon is nearly full and that's going to interfere with stargazing, certainly over the hours. Now, it is quite mild here tonight and the mild theme continues going forward, but there's some very unsettled weather on the cards. Unsettled weather through the rest of this week will really feature spells of rain at times, some of it rather heavy, accompanied by gusty winds, gale force along our coastline in 1 or 2 spots tonight and tomorrow. It is quite mild until the weekend when temperatures just drop off a little bit and it'll turn just a little bit chillier. Well, if you're brave enough to look for those beautiful meteors tonight, I hope you spot them. Do let us know. I don't think there's much chance here in Salford, but you never know. Take care. Back to you, Mary.
All right, Joe Blythe in Salford, thank you, and fingers crossed, you never know.